I read somewhere that there's a new album from you entitled Moods, which we haven't yet got in Britain.
Yeah, I think that'll be out in about 4 or 5 weeks here.
What are some of the songs on Moods?
It's very difficult to describe the songs. The album is comprised of all original material. The songs vary, really vary. They go from very light, frivolous things to some very interesting, unusual types of songs. I'm very proud of the album. I think it's one of my best. I've written 4 or 5 of the best songs I've ever written in my life on for this album, and I'm very pleased with it.
I think my favorite album so far, without having heard Moods, is the Taproot manuscript. Is there anything that compares with that?
I think you'd have to listen for yourself. My own feeling is that Moods compares certainly favorably with the Taproot manuscript. It is a special album. I'm very proud of it, and I think if you like Taproot manuscript, you'll like this as well.
How long has it taken you to make the album?
Generally, well, it's difficult to say because some of the songs that are on this album were in the writing when I was here last time, so it's a year ago. The actual recording, we spent about 3 months, 4 months on this album. We've spent up to a year on an album, recording it. It varies. It depends on how complicated the work is and how many mistakes we make.
Are there any unusual sounds or unusual instruments?
More than anything, the type of song, I think, is unusual. And I wouldn't even want to go into it. Suffice to say that it is a very broad album covering many different areas of experience, and I think some of my best music is on it. One of the most interesting songs on the album is a song called Morningside, and it's a story of an old man who dies leaving only a table that he'd built by hand for his children. It was a legacy for his children. And he dies alone. The children never coming to claim his gift. A song called Captain Sunshine, which I love for the feel of it and for what the words mean to me. A song that I wrote called Play Me, which I also love. It's just a very tender, gentle love song. And there are some strange things on the album also. A piece called Walk on Water, which is really 3 musical forms within the framework of one song. And a song that I wrote in Spanish called Canta Libre, which is also very interesting. These are the ones that stand out in my mind.
Where are you going to go from here, Neil?
I don't know. God knows.
There were rumors floating around, reports floating around that you had plans to retire from recording. Is there truth in that?
Not from recording, from performing.
From performing?
From the stage, yes. Not retire either, kind of a sabbatical. You know, I've found that every few years you need a rest. You have to get away from the fatigue of traveling, performing. You need a chance to get away from it and look at it from a different perspective and let the juices start flowing again. And that's what I'm bound to do this time. I'll be stopping in October, probably for 2 years, maybe longer, maybe not. Let's see, probably 2 years.
It needs to be probably that long, though, does it?
I feel that now, although I leave it open. I may stop for 6 months and say, my God, I have to get back on the stage. Just run back on wherever they'll let me. Right now, I want to take some time off. I want to write a show for Broadway. I want to do a film. I want to study music. And I need time. And the performing and the traveling that it involves doesn't permit it.
You must enjoy stage performances, though.
I love performing. It's not an easy decision for me to make, but it's one that I feel has to be made at this point.
Because you do seem to put a lot into a live performance. How do you feel after a show? Is it a good feeling, or is it I guess it depends on the show, but...
It does depend on the show. Generally, I feel pretty good after a show. Of course, if the show isn't up to what I think it should be, I don't generally, I'm depressed about it. But the best part of the show is during the show for me, because that's when the excitement is at an enormous level.
What are the joys you get out of recording studio work?
The joys are in the music and the records. Hopefully, every once in a while you come up with something that's special, something that's great, something that transcends what you've done before. That's what the joy is in actually having accomplished that, sitting back and saying, yes, it was worth it. It was worth all the time and the work and the effort.
Presumably the Moods album is already out in the United States.
No, it's not. It won't be out. I think it'll be released simultaneously here.
And yeah. So it's a little early, I guess, to ask you if you've got any other ideas, any plans to go into the studio again.
Well, actually, yes, there are many things that I want to do, but right now I'm kind of vacationing. It was like the end of a race. Finish it. You want to walk around the track a few times and catch your breath before thinking about the next race. There are many things that I want to do musically. Hopefully I'll have a chance to do them in the next few years, next 4 or 5 years.
Things such as, can you explain?
Conceptual albums, all kinds of things. I don't want to talk about it, because then I'll feel obligated to do it, and if I change my mind, I'll feel, just to really, to make the best, most moving, effective music that I can make. That's what I'm after.
Neil Diamond, thank you very much.